I was just sitting there thinking about communities that care, and two reflections came to my head. The first was the two communities that I've recently been in over the last few years since we set up the Global Disability Innovation Hub, where I have felt there was most caring. One was in the Cockle Bay community in Sierra Leone, which is an informal settlement or a slum. And the second was Kibera in Kenya, which again is an informal settlement or a slum. And in both of those places, the disabled people were helped not by any technology, because there wasn't any, but by other people. Like the children would help blind people get around, people would help people. And I often feel when I'm in those places, and then I come back to London, that there's this dichotomy of progress, if that makes sense. And the second reflection is I grew up in nursing homes. My parents had nursing homes. One for very wealthy people that could afford private rooms, which had 12 or 14 beds, and I used to cycle there after school and meet people who had survived the Holocaust and things. And then the second one was for more working class people. One was in Chichester, one was in Bognor Regis. If you know West Sussex, you can figure out which was which. And I, as a kid, used to ask myself two questions. One, why are these people here? Especially if they only had a stroke, why are they here? I don't understand. And secondly, why do the people in the one where the people are poor all sit together, and the people who are rich all stay in their own rooms, generally being really miserable? Right? And I could never understand that as a child. So I was just sitting there thinking, when you think about care, that's what we think about. Anyway, that's why I care about global disability innovation, is partly because of my background in growing up around nursing homes, like growing up around people who maybe couldn't help themselves, and trying to figure out why as a society we couldn't do a better job. I was really lucky. In 2012 we had the Olympics here in London. That was wonderful. You can see it was the most accessible Olympic Games ever. The first time the Paralympics was sold out, stadiums were full, history was made, people felt proud to be British and also to live in London, right? And people spoke to each other. It was amazing. And I was lucky enough to be introduced to Victoria Austin and Ian McKinnon. Ian did all the inclusive design work on the built environment, on the Olympic Park and the Paralympic Legacy Programme, including intergenerational homes, including transforming the stadium, including UCL's, University College London, my employer's new building on the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park. He also ran the Built Environment Access Panel for the standards for how we get buildings approved. So a group of disabled people could veto the right of a building. They could say, well, no, you're not allowed. So the rights were built into the planning process. And Victoria Austin, who led the Paralympic Legacy Programme. And we managed to get £10,000 off of UCL, matched that from Mayor's money of £10,000. We brought these founding partners together and said, shall we try and do something a bit differently around disability? I was sick and tired of this dichotomy between aging. I know we're not allowed to say aging anymore, but let's just intergenerational. But anyway, aging world, people who are older don't want to be called disabled. Disabled people desperately want to hold on to their identity as a disabled person, but yet that doesn't help with market dynamics. It also doesn't help that transport people think health people should fix the problems, transport people should fix the problems, and then somebody else thinks technologists should fix the problems. So I thought, well, why can't we all work together? And so, there we go. So we set up GDI Hub. Said it was 20 grand. Apparently our portfolio is now 56 million. We work in 36 countries. We have helped deliver the global report and some other things, but we're trying to help these 2.5 billion people. And we're a relatively small team, so we try and pick off the bits, which I call like the meso layer, like help the really good ideas that are on the ground better connect to the systems infrastructure, whether that be at a city level, whether it be a company level, whether it be at the UN level. Our purpose is to improve the quality of assistive living technologies and hence lives of people who use them, and ultimately try and get over what we call the TRL level 5 trap. Especially in the UK, we're finding tons and tons of research where technology is very well designed with end users, with systems providers, but it can't get over the funding hurdles of TRL level 5. So we end up not seeing it funded in that middle gap to get the evidence required for venture capitalists or others being backed. I'm hoping that if we work a bit more together, we can do that. We can work in Dan's testbed, or we can work across Europe instead, and obviously we can work with the ISO standards. So one of our challenges at the moment is how can standardization be used as a tool to accelerate disability innovation and innovation that supports healthy and happy aging, because I'd like that. And so together we hope to change the world, and we back the ISO 25553 multi-generational neighborhoods that care.